This course, SunRidge Canyon, is very unique in the fact that the first 9 holes run completely away from you, where it's all downhill running away towards our arroyo, or as you look at our valley. And our last 6 holes, what we call our Wicked 6, it's where it's pretty difficult in the simple fact that everything's uphill into the wind, elevated greens, lots of bunkering, tough pin placements, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. So for the average golfer who doesn't really understand that they have to take more club to get it to the back of the green or make sure they're carrying the distances, it makes it more difficult, because if you don't hit it onto the greens, you have some really tough up and downs. The reason why it's so much more difficult with the slope rating is because of the difficulty around the greens and the uphill and the undulations of the golf course, and the green contours is what really makes it the difficulty for the golf course. The sodding and the cutting of the bunkers is something that we're very proud of. It's something that we want, something that has a lot to do with a little bit of European flavor and a little bit of link style. We have a little bit of link style, we have a little bit of European flavor. It's an eclectic type of golf course where you actually, believe it or not, for me, as long as I hit the golf ball, I use every single club in my bag every time I play. I'm talking about driver, 3-iron, 4-iron, all the way down to my lob wedge on every single hole. This golf course has a lot of force carries, off the tee, second shots. So we recommend that a lot of people understand what their distance control is, how far they hit their driver, not what they want it to be, but actually what it really is. The bunkering philosophy on this golf course was, well, for the deep bunkers around the greens, more of a penalty for what you need to do to, if you don't carry the green and hit the successful shot, the right trajectory and the right distance. And the bunkering around the fairways was more for learning how to shape it, or visual effects to understand how the golf course wants the hole to be shaped. If you want to hit a little draw, if you want to hit a little fade, work it off this bunker, hit it off this bunker. So it adds a little bit of variety both ways. These greens do have lots of grain in them per take, kind of like Florida. You have to read the green and understanding, and we have, with slopes, we have reverse sloping, we have reverse, you know, where the architect wants it to be the opposite of what it looks like. If you're going to have dying putts, the grain really takes over near the end of the putt, whereas if you have a lot speedier putts, the grain won't take over as much. Our tip here for putting for our golf course is that everything has a tendency to break towards 4 peaks. The slower the putt, it's going to break towards our 4 peaks over here to the right-hand side. It doesn't look it, but if it's slower greens, it has a tendency, if you have a right to left putt, if it looks like it's going to be 2 balls, it might only break about a ball or a half a ball. So it does negate some of the break out of the greens. The desert rule is a very interesting rule, and it applies to keeping the pace of play. If you hit in the desert and you can't play the golf ball, you can take it a 1-shot penalty and drop it as a lateral hazard, so we can keep the pace of play. Otherwise, you could be in the desert forever, taking an unplayable and not being able to advance the golf ball. We have some cacti out here that you don't want to really mess with, because this game is about enjoyment. It's not about beating yourself up, because we want you to come back and also enjoy the game.